John Flickinger with you at the Derry area basketball preview here on the Westmoreland Sports Network, and I'm here with head basketball coach Tom Esposito. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on last year's season. You brought the Trojans back on the basketball map, so to speak. Had been a long time since you coached here, and you make the comeback and you get your team to the playoffs. Had to have been very exciting, and for the future, it looks pretty good.
Thank you, John. It is great to be back, and we're in full swing right now. Last year was a very special season. First year back, we came in with a nice core of players, led by John Kerr, the big guy inside. He had a phenomenal year with double-double or triple-double nearly every night, complemented by a great underclassmen group with Aiden Bushy and Justin Huss, Tanner Nicely, Ryan Bushy. And, those players, the underclassmen played a lot together throughout their lives since probably third or fourth grade. You add John into that mix, and it was a good foundation to build off right from day number one. And we just progressed and got better every day and took advantage of the talents they each brought to the floor and gelled it together, and by season's end we found ourselves in the playoffs.
And you played a very good Blackhawk team, of course, and you almost pulled that game off, Tommy. Let's talk about the good news first, and you already mentioned it. You have a lot of returners. The bad news, I guess, is your leading scorer, and we talked about him and John Kerr, 16.9 points per game. School record in block shots. He had 107 last year. So good and bad, I guess. You have a lot of returners to work with, but you lose a big gun.
Well, we are blessed with the returning players that we do have. We have our core players back, but when you lose John at 107 blocks, that's phenomenal in high school basketball, especially in 20 games. The one game he had 17 in one game, but in our preseason meeting, one of our preseason meetings, I told our guys, last year's done and over with. It's just something to build off of to, try to establish a program. And the numbers that we have out this year, we have 22 on our roster right now. I'm ready to put in a special teams unit with that many players. But, we're going to try to develop our freshmen as the best we can through the season. It's kind of tough to do that during the season. That stuff's done in the off season. But we had to redesign our practices a little bit because I don't like players standing around. I like everyone involved, and I'm very fortunate to have a great coaching staff who, in our preseason coaching meetings, I defined their roles and they accepted them, they're comfortable with them, and I trust in what they're doing. I make a practice schedule, and if a coach's name is beside a drill or part of it X's and O's, I just say, you're on Coach Bushy right now, or Coach Polinsky, Coach DeMary. And, I have complete trust in them. We all believe in the system that we put in this year. And what was nice seeing last night was in our scrimmage against Paula Ridge is we have very little in right now, but our players responded very well last night. Now, after the first scrimmage, you never know what to expect. That as a coach. Mm-hmm. And we did a lot of good things last night, but we have a lot to clean up yet.
When you look at your roster, it starts at your guard spots. You have the Bushy brothers returning, of course, and then you look at a couple of other guys on your roster, two football guys in Justin Huss, over 2,000 yards during the football season, Tanner Nicely, a major contributor to that football team, and of course Aiden was a heck of a golfer, Ryan too. So you got guys who not only are good basketball players, but they're good athletes, and I know that you like to see that as well.
It's another thing I mentioned in our preseason meeting. We have three great seniors as leaders. You look at Aiden, first golfer I think in 74 years in school history to advance to the state regional golf tournament. He had a phenomenal golf season. He was the section MVP. He loves basketball. He tries so hard. Sometimes Aiden tries too hard to play the perfect game. And no one's ever going to play a perfect game. Michael Jordan never played a perfect game. He missed more shots than he made. But Aiden is a pure shooter, you know, and last night he stroked probably 3 or 4 trays in a row. And then you look at Justin and Tanner, and building off of their success in football I spoke about, they did something in football that no other football player has done in 4 years here at Derry. They not only won a lot of games, but they were major contributors throughout their careers. And for Justin to do what he does and I'm sure by now a lot of people know that, you know, the severe injury he had a couple years ago, to do what he did on the football field and what he does on the basketball court, his athleticism is just outstanding. And he did some things last night that I'm not surprised about. He's very active. He plays hard. He hustles. And he always finds himself in the right spot to make something happen for our basketball team. And he shot the ball very well last night. And he hasn't really been in the gym to get a lot of shots up. Now, the last few practices, we have been spending a little bit more time on our shooting drills. And we're going to be a team that we had to change everything offensively to fit our needs. And we're going to look at Justin and Aiden to, put up a lot of threes. And, if they go in, that's great. And I told the guys after the scrimmage last night, we're going to have possessions where we score 4, 5, 6 times in a row, and we may go 3 or 4 trips without scoring. But, that's something that we just have to become more consistent with. And then Tanner, if last year I referred to him as a garbage player, and that's in no bad way, no bad term, but in basketball, you need a garbage player. Tanner's always in the right spot. He's shooting the ball very well, and he's extending out to the arc. So, we're going to be a team that gets up and down the floor real quick, and we're enabled to do that because Ryan Bushy I sent him to a great camp this summer at Point Guard College, where he would go into a classroom and study film, take notes, and of course on the court stuff. But Ryan has progressed tremendously as a point guard. His basketball IQ is so high, and that goes along with Aiden and Justin and Tanner because they've been playing so long together. But I expect big things out of Ryan as long as he keeps himself under control and keeps his composure, and which I've seen that this year, and that's a great thing. He's more or less just like a senior leader. He's our floor general. He's our coach on the floor, and that's what we have to develop next. That him and I are thinking the same thing at the same time, and we're getting there. And then we have Sam Jones and Grant Hudson. And once we get Ryan Hood back full strength, we have some strong inside players.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, points in the paint. I know you're a structured coach. You want to use your best players in the best way possible. You're always looking for ways to do that, and it could change game to game based upon the game plan and your opponent. So when you look at how you are going to replace a John Kerr, and you look at in the middle, you look at guys like Sam and Ryan and Grant, how much of an impact do they have to make for you to be successful this year?
Well, they have to be, you're not going to replace John Kerr with what he did. But Sam and Hoodie and Grant, they bring a lot more strength to the team. They're strong. Last night they went to the glass hard and got some big rebounds, and they fight in there. And I tell our guys, there's 2 things we can teach about rebounding. That's tagging somebody and boxing them out. After that, it's all up to you to have the desire to go get the basketball. And they did a good job. We have to work on as a team to have 5 guys going to the glass, not standing outside the arc and waiting for 1 or 2 players to get a rebound. We really have to concentrate on that so we can get out and run our transition, because I think we're very, very quick. We have some sets designed for Justin just flying down the floor, and I don't know too many basketball players who are going to keep up with Justin Huss flying down 84 feet. But we're looking to push the ball in transition quickly. Another thing we need to work on is recognizing when it becomes 5-on-5, getting out of transition and getting into our new offense, and the offense is basically designed to be basketball players, and with a few options off of our motion offense, and just take what the defense gives you. Our goal is to wear teams down for 32 minutes on both ends of the floor. The defense that we have in right now is the defense that I want to play for 32 minutes. And I feel we can do that because it was evident last night just from one scrimmage. Right now, I believe we're 7 to 8 deep. We get Ryan Hood back and Nick DeTore back. That's going to just add some more depth to our team, and guys got to accept their roles, and that's including starters that, you're going to be playing for 4 to 5 minutes, but you better be playing hard, intense, come out for a minute or two, get your break. And I have to be comfortable putting other players on the floor in positions that they know their role is to play defense and take care of the basketball and take what they can get offensively. But we're looking to our veteran group to lead us, and after last night, I was very pleased. I had 2 goals going into the scrimmage last night, and that's how well we picked up our man after we scored and our patience on offense, and I was pleased with it thus far.
So I looked down at the list that I was going to ask you of questions, and you've already answered about 95% of them. Spoken like a coach that's been around for a long time, as we're continuing to talk to Coach Esposito as we preview the Derry area Trojan high school basketball team in 2019-2020. Coach, talk a little bit more maybe about just your depth in general. What other guys you expect to contribute that could possibly contribute off the bench?
Well, I think we have... as long as we keep progressing and keep learning and the guys start and keep understanding, we have one player to sub for every one of our starters.
That's awesome.
And if they can go on the floor and give me the defense that I want them to play and take care of the basketball, Tyson Webb has improved tremendously. Darius Hudpath could be the glue to this basketball team. He is so quiet, but he has a little mean streak in him, and I love that. And he gets after people, even in practice. And I tell our guys, I said, you're one play away from playing. You don't know when someone's going to get an injury. But if you went on the basketball court, you got to show us in practice that we have confidence to get you on the basketball court. And they did that last night. And they have for 7 straight days we practiced before we scrimmaged. And I did that on purpose because we had to get these 2 things in: the defense I want to play, and the offense that we're going to be running. And I beefed up our schedule. In the tip-off classic, we play Kiski area first, or 5A. There are the preseason WPIAL rankings that came out. I don't know who this dude is that picks them, but I'm glad he picks them the way that he does. Kiski area is picked to be 2 or 3 in their section, and then we have Nazareth Prep coming in, who won the WPIAL championship last year. And you and I talked before, regardless of the sport, but more so in like sports like basketball and your sport and baseball, it doesn't matter what level you play. Right. Basketball is a little different because you only put 5 guys on the floor. If you get 7 or 8 guys that can play basketball, I don't care what level you're at. There's some Class A teams, Class AA teams that are just as good or if better than 4 through 6As. And I'm looking forward to the Nazareth Prep game. And in building the program, I want to play, teams that are consistently in the playoffs, teams with a reputation to, if we're fortunate to make the playoffs, then we get rewarded at the end of the year. But playoffs are a long ways away right now. We just hope to get better every single day, put some more stuff in, and we're keeping it simple. We're not. Teams are going to know what we're doing, but we feel that we have players with high basketball IQ that, regardless whether a team can, they know what we're doing, we can break them down on both ends of the floor. And I think our basketball IQ is that high.
As always, it's a pleasure. Good luck to you this year. You sounded extremely excited. We were looking forward to covering you throughout the season, and let's go Trojans.
Thank you, John.
Tom Esposito, head basketball coach for the Derry area Trojans, and that is the team preview here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. We'll have Trojan basketball throughout the season, so join us here on WSN. I'm John Flickinger reporting.